Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Pertner, and I'm doing a quick Travefy training on automations and how to save you some time in your life with being a travel agent, right? That's what I need in my life. So, all right, here we go. We're going to look at, I'm going to find a test trip that I have made. So this would be if you've already made a trip and you've added all the components, whatever. I do have some stuff in here. This is just a test trip that I've done in the past. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick what I do to help me stay on track and what automations I add to every one of my trips. And then I'm going to go back and show you how I do it, right? So right here, there's a button called Task and Automations, and I click on that. And then I have already made a list, a checklist of what I want to get done as a travel agent. And I'll show you how I did that. But right down here, it's under task list. So I'm going to click on that. And then if we scroll down a little bit, I have a trip checklist email, and that's the one that we're going to do. I also have a cruise checklist email. So both of these are basically the same. I just tweaked it, one's to be for cruises and one's to go with land trips, right? So I think I had a cruise in this, so I guess I'll just use cruise. I click on that, and then it populates all my 18 or 19, whatever it was, things in here. Okay, so this kind of shows you a workflow as well. This starts from the beginning. Your client has reached out and they want a trip. Okay, check. We did that. We can click that off. I might not really need that in every single one because obviously it's already happened, right? But for me, I have to go through the steps, right? You've reviewed their inquiry and called the client. So check. So as soon as that client reaches out to you, you can create a trip for them, right? And then you can add this automation, this list to every single trip so that you know, all right, what do I need to do next, right? Then you're going to create that quote. And once you've created the quote, you're going to send it. Okay. And that could be like those three proposals that I have gone over before, and then send them to the decision, right? So we can check that off. Then your customer is going to approve the quote, whichever one they decide, right? And once they do that, then you can say, check, we did that. After they've approved that quote, you're going to get your credit card authorization form and you're going to book the trip, right? So once I've booked that trip, then check, I've done that. Okay. Then as soon as I book that trip, I need to submit the commission tracking form. All right. This is where I have dates. And if I don't do these on time, it's going to send me a little task notification that, oh, you've got tasks to do. So you can see I need to add some trips to my calendar. I need to do some different things, right? So that's because I've added these automations in, and then it's sending me a reminder like, up, Jen, you better get on it. Let's go. All right. So that's what I need. I need somebody that's going to, right, kick me in the rear end. Okay. So anyway, how did I do this? Okay, and then these are things I'm just going to check off, right? With the circles. The ones that have the lightning bolt, those are going to be emails that are going to be sent to my customer automatically. Now, this first one, I do have it as an automation only because I want to make sure that I remember to do it. This is the one I send, yay, your trip is booked. And I usually go in and I edit this. Yeah, I don't have a date on my trip. That's why. Well, there might be. So this is an email that I have made, and it's basically saying, yay, your trip is booked. Get ready for some emails, review your confirmation. If you want travel insurance, you can click here. Things to make sure they're aware of, like that their passports have to be good for 6 months. I'll be sending them final documents. Any special requests, let me know, and then get excited, right? So that's just like my initial, yay, your trip is booked. And I can go down here and I can change this date to whatever date I want to send it. Okay, so if they booked it today, I might go ahead and send it today. And then I put a time and I put, say, whatever time I want to send it. I don't have people on this trip, so it's going to tell me you don't have anybody. But let's say we send it at 7:45. Let's see what happens. 7 p.m. And then I gotta move this. Okay. Oh, all right. There's my time. And then I'm done. So did I say 7:45? Where did it go? What's today's date? February, right here, February 12th at 7:45. It says it's going to send. Let me go back to that trip and see if I have a date on it. I think I do. Okay, so I have a date. And then do I have people? Who do I have? I probably don't have people. Let's see. Okay, so I could add, like, I could add myself. Okay, so then that's the email it's going to send, right? So you have to make sure you have people, who's it going to send it to, and you have to have a date. Now, why do we have to have a date? I'll show you. Back to those automations. So I clicked on this automations to get back to that. When we set up this automation, we're going to tell it when to do what, right? Okay, so let me show you how I did that. I have to keep moving my bar away. Okay, I went to the marketplace and I typed in workflow. All right, river cruise workflow, simple workflow, confirmed itinerary workflow. You can pick any of these. I don't remember which one I picked, but I picked one. Maybe checklist. Okay, checklist. So here we have pre-travel checklist. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. And you can add any of these to your library, and then you can edit them however you want to, right? Okay, so let's go back to workflow. Let's see what this one says. Okay, so this looks similar to like the one I made. And what I did was I just copied it to my library. Sales workflow. Okay, then I go back to library and I'm going to find it. Let's see. Sales workflow right here. Example. Okay, so now you can come over here and you can edit this however you want, right? We can either add an automation or you can add a task. So let's just say we wanted to add a new task, like add trip to calendar. Okay. I like to put a due date because, like I said, it's going to give me a task. It's going to remind me up here where my tasks were if I don't do it within a certain amount of days. So I'm going to put in like 120 days before the start date because I want to make sure I have that on my calendar, right? And then we can add a time. You can say like 9 o'clock a.m. All right. And if you want to put any notes in, you can put a note, any notes. Okay. And then here you can say, remind me. And it will send you an email and give you a task up here that you have to do this if you haven't done it yet, right? So then that's done. Okay, so if we scroll down a little bit, right there, add trip to calendar 120 days before the start date, right? All right, we can also add an automation. Let's say you want to, okay, there's a couple different types that we can do here. We can send them an email itinerary invite, which means you're going to send them the itinerary that you created, right? And it's going to invite them to go to that itinerary. So you can do that. You can send them a form. If you send them a form, it has to be a form from your library that you've created or that you've, gotten from the work from the marketplace. You can send them a chat message, which I will be honest, before they had email automations, they did chats and nobody ever saw them. You can send them and like that something's due, a fee, or you can send them an email. I do emails. You can put in the subject, let's say 7 days until your trip. Okay. Um, Getting excited. I don't know, whatever you want to write, right? You can use ChatGPT, or whatever you want to put, to say your trip is only 7 days away. And then whatever you want to tell them. When I'm sending them the 7 days away, I'm sending them a weather check because about a week ahead of time, you can usually figure out what the weather is going to be. Okay, we're going to schedule it for 7 days before the itinerary start date. And in order for it to send, you have to have a time. So you have to make sure you have a time on there. And then there's the time. We say done. And then we look over here and there it is. Okay. So you're basically making a checklist in your library. And you can call this whatever you want. I had called mine cruise, I don't know what I called it, cruise checklist, cruise email checklist or something like that, right? You can call it whatever you want, but whatever you call it, you got to make sure you know, because when you go to add it, you're going to want to make sure you know what it was called so you can find it. Okay. So you can change those and tweak those however you want. All right. Do you guys have any questions on that? Guess we can open up the chat because if you guys have questions, other people might have questions. And then we can figure out how I can help you with it.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Um, should we be using the credit card authorization form from Archer?
So
Um,
I made my own credit card authorization form in Travefy, and I just made sure I had all the components that were on Archer's. I can show you mine. Um, and I will tell you, I had a little bit of a scare. I booked a trip in Vax, and it was within the 21 days of booking. It was kind of a crazy situation, but anyway, and I had Archer calling me and saying, your trip is going to be canceled if you don't send us this information. Yeah, it was crazy. And I was at my other job, so I really wasn't, prepared to like work on any travel stuff. So anyway, I sent them a copy of my credit card authorization form. I sent them the copy of the license and the credit card, and I was cleared. So that kind of made me feel good because I was like, okay, like I passed, right? Like whatever. So it was all good. Let me find that forms. So my credit card looks like this. Whoops. I will tell you too, I've done this a lot of different ways. I used to make one credit card authorization form for every single customer, and that got very tedious. Then I decided I was going to make one more generic one, and that's what I've stuck with now. So here is my credit card authorization form. I have the passenger dates. I mean, it's pretty much what, the same as what Archer has. List any additional. They have to have their mailing, their phone number, emergency. Um, I think this is the wording that maybe they have on there. I do have that travel insurance has been offered, and I have them choose. They can either choose. So I have this whole big verbiage in here. Oh no, I don't have it in here. It must be my terms and conditions. But this is, they can click here for my tin leg. I have it here, so I feel like, I'm offering it there. I mean, I've already, offered it before now too, but just in case. And then they have to choose. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Yes, travel insurance has been offered and I accept travel insurance, or yes, travel insurance has been offered, but I decline travel insurance. So both ways, yes, it's been offered, but then either they accept it or they decline it. And then this is where you put in the credit card information. This is where they upload a picture. And the way you do that is you have to have the form, you have to have it when you add a question to your form, you can choose what kind of answer you want it to give. So this is short answer, long answer, multiple choice, whatever. And then right down here, there's one that says contact document upload. So they have to then take a picture of their credit card. Same thing with this. And then I say I cannot make the payment and secure your booking without this, right? So they have to do it. The driver's license, same thing. And then this is the wordage that, oh, wait, here, that is on Archer's. This form is provided to you by, this, and then it has that on there, their license and whatever. It's been a while. I probably should go back and check. They might have added more stuff to it. But then I have my own terms and conditions, and I found these in the marketplace as well. And then I copied and pasted and I tweaked it to make it, for me. So that's mine. I will say that when you get this, if you have somebody fill it out, you have to come over here to responses, and then it will show up over here saying, who do you want this to go to? Like, you have to choose that it goes to this person. And if you don't have that person in your contacts, it'll let you create a new contact. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, to share it, there's a couple different ways. You can email the form to clients in a like, an email, or you can share this link. Now I will show you this because this confused me and I was doing it wrong there for a while. When I saw this, I just came right down here and I was like, oh, right there, copy link. But this copy link is actually to put it into the um like to put it on the web so that anyone with the link can view it, but they can't answer the questions. They can't fill it in. So like I could give you this link right now and you could just view it. I mean, I don't care to do that. I can do that. But if you want to give it to your customers, you have to click up here and then there's a link right here and you click on that link. And that's the link that will have the questions where your customer can answer the questions and to fill it in and to do it, allow you to do it. So that was tricky for me. So just so you don't make the same mistake again, learn from my mistakes. Okay, so that's a form with that. Um, there's a lot more to automations too. Let me go back and show you a couple more things. In your library, you will have, okay, if I click off of forms and I go to checklist, that's where that's where those automation checklists are, right? And the way that I have it filtered, I put in a label. So under labels, I have checklist, I have email, I have form, I have info section, message team, right? So in this one, I have it labeled as checklists. And these are all my checklists. If I take that off, you can also prearrange messages. So if I click on messages, like right here, city guide, I have a city guide message. So I have gone in and I've created just a generic, hi, Susie. Here is a city guide to one of the places you'll be visiting. It gives you additional information about the places to see, places to eat, etc. If you're interested in booking any tours, so then this is where I put in my Viator link, one place, that they can get it. Or if you're interested in shore excursions, you can check out this link. And then if you have any questions, let me know. And I have that, right? So when I go to send a city guide, let me show you how that works. Let's send that city guide. I think I put, yeah. So we're going to share this. Share. I'm going to email it. I'm not going to carbon myself, but I'm going to put on the person that was on the trip. Okay, then right over here where it says saved messages, I can click that and all my saved messages come up that I've already populated in my library, right? So like right here, I'm going to click on maybe city, excuse me, there's my city guide message. I click on that and it pulls it right in. And then I can just type in their name, right? Some of the others that I have is that I've made is like decision. If I'm sending them a new decision proposal for cruises, then I have this message already created so that when I go to send my customer those three decisions, all I do is say send, I pull up this message and it, comes right in. Saves me time. That's my goal. I tell them, I've loved searching for it. Each of them have a quick little summary and it tells you everything. And if they click on the view details, then they'll find an abundance of information about the ship, blah, blah, blah. And then you go down here. I always tell them this is just an initial step. We can keep making adjustments to fit your needs, and all prices are subject to change until payment is made. Make sure you put that in, right? And then I always say, I can't wait to see which option you choose because I want them to know, okay, I've done this work. Now I'm expecting you to make a choice, right? And let's get this booked for you. Another message I have is my credit card authorization form. So whenever I have to send a credit card authorization form, I get ready to send them an email with it. And then I say, hi, Joe or whoever, here's the credit card authorization form for your amazing trip. It authorizes me to make a payment, blah, 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 right? If you're interested in travel insurance, again, I put my tin leg in there. Always put my tin leg everywhere. And then thank you for allowing me to help, plan your trip. I'm so excited for you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I have these messages like already pre-made. So it, again, saves me time. Um, okay, so going back to library, we can look at, I don't know why it says hidden. That's kind of weird. But anyway, these are all my messages, right? So, yeah, some of these I even got from the marketplace. Because like this international travel tips, I don't even know what that is. Like, I don't even know what that is. Okay, so yeah, so that's one that I just maybe took and thought, okay, maybe I can come back and tweak that later on or, whatever. But some different things. Um, okay, so those are my messages. Okay, info sections. That's a whole nother thing. Let's see what I got here. So these info sections are things that I have like pre-made to add to a trip, like when I'm in the process of making it, right? So like I know I have okay, if I'm booking MSC, I like to tell people about the fun pass. So I have a info section about an MSC fun pass and I add that to the itinerary. If they're going on NCL, I have this info section about Harvest K if they're stopping at if that's one of their stops, or Great Stirrup K, Celebration Key. I know I have Royal Caribbean's on here too, all their private islands. I have MSC's private island because I like to add like pictures and stuff. And for me, it's quicker to just be able to drag and drop this than to have to go and search and find the pictures and do all that and like start from scratch, I guess I feel. I just started doing these cabin types, which I didn't realize that oh, that's for Virgin Voyages. Let me see, where is this? Um, when you populate in a cruise, oh, here we go. When you populate in a cruise, it pulls up all the different uh, cabins, and you can show your customers all the different cabins. You can leave some of them on, you can take some of them off, but it also, you can take each one of those individual cabins and like make it its own info section. So that's what I was starting to do. Like here, it just gives you all this information about what a Royal Caribbean interior cabin is, right? I also did, I mostly book ocean view balconies. So I did one that has ocean view balcony, and it just tells all about the ocean view balcony, and then you can just pull that in and put the price, right? And then that to me is like kind of quick. So what I'm talking about is, let's go back to my test trip real quick. I had put in this, these as a cruise. If I were to add, okay, so down here I have like an info section. All right, and this is where I would put in like the pricing details, right? I could put in words, copy and paste. You can put in pictures. Sometimes I'll put in screenshots, or you can put in a document. But this is where I put in like my pricing details. And then you can see I added in already, like if it's a Royal Caribbean, I'm going to add in the cruise ticket contract because I want them to know what that is, right? They're agreeing to it, so they have to know what it is. Um, Carnival drink packages, whatever, right? If this was a Royal Caribbean and they wanted the price on a ocean view balcony, I could take this. Oh, I wonder if it'll let me. Okay. Whoop. Where'd it go? Oh, it probably already put it in there, right? Because I clicked on it. What is it? It's all the way. Here we go. Okay, so Royal Caribbean Ocean View Balcony. This tells all this information about it. It has some pictures. And then, oh, it put it in twice. And then you could just put the price, right? Like you can just put the price. But at least it's nice that it shows them what is it, right? What's happening. So anyway, this is just my test trip, and obviously you're not going to put Carnival and Royal Caribbean in there together, but those were just some things that I, wanted to show you that I um had had done. If their cruise stops at Perfect Day, what comes up? Oh no, Coco Cay. I think that's what I have it as. There we go. Arrive at Coco Cay. I can come over here, drop, and then see I have a little blur, verbiage about it, and then the picture. So obviously that's not.
Do you mention in there about the extra cost for Coco?
Um, Not right away,
Okay.
not when I'm starting off my booking.
Yeah,
I
I
have
don't.
a, yeah, I have a whole nother flyer that I send them for Royal Caribbean that like gives them a bunch of information about what's included, what's not included, all that
Okay.
fun stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end the recording, and I hope this helped anybody that's watching. And I'm always available for questions. You can always message me, and I'm happy to help. So thanks for watching.